Okay, this is video 1. If you're watching this means you got 0 correct on the teacher check, and we're going to start from the very beginning. Okay, so we're going to start with problem number 4. So go ahead and read it. What are the coordinates of A prime, B prime, C prime if ABC is A, -4, 0, B, -4, 4, C, -2, 2, and is dilated by a scale of 1/2? Okay, so what is the important information in this question? We know it's going to be scale factor of 1/2. All right, so maybe on your paper, go ahead and label question number 4. And I just want you to write that the scale factor is 1/2, all right, because that's important. All right, so we have the pre-image, which is A, B, and C, and we always want to start off with listing the pre-image. So go ahead and put A, B, C on your paper and rewrite the coordinates, okay? So this time, go ahead and pause the video and write down the coordinates to A, B, and C. Okay, when you finish that, your coordinate should be -4, 0, -4, 4, -2, -2. Now, we know that there's an image after that it forms. So how do I get A prime, B prime, and C prime? Go ahead and write this on your paper. Put these 3 arrows right here and A prime, B prime, C prime. Go ahead and put these parentheses and know that we're trying to solve for the new x values and the new y values. Okay, so we want to go back and say that our scale factor was 1/2, or 1/2. That means I have to multiply each of these numbers by 1/2 to get our new numbers. We also know that because the scale factor is less than 1, that from A to A prime, B to B prime, C to C prime, the image must be getting smaller. Okay, so let's do our first one. -4 times 1/2. Go ahead and copy everything on my paper on your paper. All right, so I have -4 times 1/2. How do I multiply a whole number by a fraction? All right, well, it's easier to multiply a fraction by another fraction. So let's just turn this into -4 over 1, because anything under 1 is still itself. Now, we multiply fractions straight across. -4 times 1, what does that equal? You should have -4, and then 1 times 2 equals 2. Go ahead and pause the video to try to simplify -4 divided by 2. All right, when you're done with that, you should have gotten -4 divided by 2 is -2. So -4 times 1/2 will equal -2. Now, a shortcut, an easier way, is that you know if -4 times 1/2 is -2, where else are we going to see this number 2? All right, well, I see a -4 here, so I know this is also going to be -2. And I see a 4 here, which means I know this answer is going to be 2, but it's going to be positive because I have no negative signs. All right, so I multiplied -4 by 1/2. Now I have to multiply 0 by 1/2. If I multiply 0 by 1/2, I could do this whole process again, but I know that anything times 0 has to equal what? It has to equal 0, all right? So I know 0 times 1/2 is 0. All right, now I only have 2 numbers left, and they're the same number, so I only have to do this once. Let's multiply -2 times 1/2. Now I want you to pause the video, all right, and see if you can do this the same way that we did -4. All right, once you do that, you should have put -2 over 1 and you multiply fractions straight across. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, and 1 times 2 is 2. If you simplify that down, you should have gotten an answer of negative 1. All right? So now we know negative 2 times 1/2. So negative 2 times 1/2 is negative 1. And since these two are the same numbers, this will also be negative 1. All right, so now that you've done number 4, you can go ahead and transition to question number 1. Go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and read number 1, triangle XYZ. Okay, so the same way that we approach problem number 4, we're going to put the pre-image, XYZ, and X prime, Y prime, Z prime. Go ahead and do that. Okay, and once you do that, you know the coordinates are 2, negative 1, negative 4, negative 1, and 2, 2. Now, what is the important information from problem number 1? What is the scale factor? All right, well, we know that the scale factor is 4, which means we need to multiply every single one of these numbers by 4. Now, since we did one example together, I want you to try number 1 all by yourself.